Welcome to the Money Barista podcast in the virtual cafe where coffee meets money. This is your host, Kerry Zarb, the Money Barista, and together with Kim White, we bring you weekly episodes to talk about the beans in your business. How would you like to be in control of your business finances? Step inside the virtual cafe with us for these combos where we share our experience with you. So what are we waiting for? Come on, let's go. It's coffee time. We're back in the TMB studio in the virtual cafe.
We're back.
I don't have any coffee, Kim. This is like a disaster. This is not working for me already.
So it's early in the morning here, Carrie, as you know, and there's been no coffee flowing yet. So you're not getting coffee because it's too late at night, and I haven't had coffee because quite frankly, it's just early.
Right. And here I reckon my coffee consumption probably finished about 7 hours ago. How long does caffeine stay in your system, Kim? We need to have this answer.
Can I say not long enough?
Yeah. I'm going to call it an hour. Maybe there's probably a scale to this. Like it's in your system for an hour for the first cup, and then on your second cup it maybe is an additional 2 hours. Then your third cup becomes an additional 3 hours. Anyway, my cup feels empty.
You are making it way too complicated for me this morning.
Speaking of making things overcomplicated, today's topic is, are you overcomplicating your business finances? So let's stop talking about the complicated coffee maths and maybe dive a little bit further into that one, Kim. What do you think?
I love this, Carrie. And I have to say, I'm going to tell on us a little bit because we were just in a club meeting, and we have to give a quick shout out to Adam first off. Adam is the poster child for the Money Barista Club, so I want to say that out loud because he just does things like he takes the tools, he puts them to use, he does not make it complicated, and I will just use me as the reverse poster child. I am the reason that the club probably exists, Gary, because I make the finance part hard based on not liking doing stuff. So I think that that's part of the thing this morning we should cover about the complicated is sometimes we make things complicated because we just don't like them.
Well, Kim, you actually raised a really good point and a question to those listening to think about themselves and their own situation with their business finances. Are you overcomplicating it because you don't like it? Are you overcomplicating it to make things harder on yourself? And can you strip any of that away to simplify your business finances so that it's easier? And maybe then there's a little bit of like mentalness that comes into that, Kim, where we actually do want to do it because it is simple. So, this is getting heavy, Kim.
Got spicy right out of the gate.
Yeah, it did.
So let me make another confession, Carrie, because here's the thing about sometimes I sabotage myself when I don't understand something or don't like something. And I think this is probably true. You know, if you don't like something, you don't understand it, you don't know how to do it, all of those things, you self-sabotage a lot of times by looking for ways for some tool to take the pain away or some person to take the pain away. You look for a relief is what I'm going to call it. And quite frankly, Carrie, sometimes going back to what I'm going to call old school of getting your pen and paper out or getting a calculator out if you need to. And that is something you have taught us to keep things so simple that they don't get harder. Because I think that that's what happens is we make it harder trying to avoid the pain or what we perceive as pain. I'll be honest.
Have you ever looked at your bank account or credit card statement and found charges you forgot to cancel? Do you have a sinking feeling that you are spending money on things you no longer use? I'm Kerry Zarb, the Money Barista, and I share a free tool that has saved users over $116,000. If you want to get in control of your recurring payments, then the Money Barista Savings Tool is the free step for you. I host a live tour of the savings tool every quarter. It's completely free for you to attend and get this amazing tool. Let me show you how this tool can save you money and help you track your progress. Head over to kerrysarp.com/savings to register for the next live tour. And while you're there, grab your free and private copy of the Money Barista Savings Tool so that you can get started on saving money today. Kim, you've just reminded me of a reel or a TikTok or something that I did not so long ago. And when I say not so long ago, jeepers, it could have been 12 or 18 months. Who knows? Time flies when you're having fun. And in that reel was how attractive these accounting platforms look, and they make it look easy and simple and like it's going to solve all of your problems. And sometimes we think the problem is that we don't have the right tool. And that's a valid kind of situation to be in and those thoughts to have. I have them a million times in a day about all the other spaces that I play in business. But in that reel, my closing kind of highlight remark was, that shit's going to take a long time to learn. Because it does. Because again, the commercials of how simple it is and how it's going to change your life and give you all this data, you've got to get that freaking data in there to get that back. And in order to get the data in there, you need to know how to operate the platform. So speaking of overcomplicating things, sometimes the accounting platforms aren't what we need. Sometimes they are. I will 100%. I've got clients here that use platforms and they're game changers, but they're next level size businesses. When we're a solopreneur or starting our business as an entrepreneur, then maybe we just need to keep it that simple and bring it back to the basics of a spreadsheet or even the old books, journals, pen, paper, calculator, like you said, Kim, just to bring it back to earth and start somewhere.
I think that's the secret to what your magic is, Carrie. It is starting somewhere, starting wherever you are, and start to uncomplicate it. Start to either learn some things but I will tell you, Carrie, this is like a whole episode of confessions here. I feel like sometimes I will try to learn something, like it's almost easier in my brain, which even saying it out loud is kind of embarrassing, but it's easier in my brain to go ahead and learn a new tool than it is to learn about my digit. Because it seems like the tool and the advertising is going to make it easier for me to learn something and I can avoid that other. Whereas if I would just do the other, I would see what I really needed, because tools are helpful when you're ready and you know how to use them.
Exactly, Kim. And I think, circling back to the reel of that shit's going to take a long time to learn, that is just sometimes how it is. And it's not, I'm not criticizing these companies for their advertising, and I'm not criticizing these platforms because, like I said before, I've got clients that use these platforms and they are making a significant difference at their level because they've been in business for a long time. They've reached a certain size of business where that tool is required. And sometimes we don't know when that is. If we're not familiar with the finances and it's not our, little area of expertise in our business, then of course we're guided by what we see in other places. The commercials look all flashy and amazing and the tools are fantastic. However, it just may not be the right time for you to stop what you're doing, to avoid working on your finances, thinking this is the solution that's then just going to suck down a heap of time that you don't have, maybe right now, to invest in that platform. So overcomplicating is very easy to get sucked into. I'll confess to Kim, every second day, I want to dive into something new and do something new and do something different, looking for shortcuts, Kim. So we do that quite a bit as entrepreneurs, and you and I actually did an episode on BBG about shortcuts and shortcutting. So that's a good one for if you want to go and check out another podcast. Buckets and Boom Gates is the other studio that Kim and I hang out in, and that was a really good episode, Kim.
Well, Terry, I'm going to give you reason 117 that I choose you. Let me say that. I feel like taking advice about my business finances from a marketer is not the same as taking business advice from someone who does numbers every single day. Like someone who's actually in the business world. And Carrie, I recognize you're not a financial advisor. I know that is not what it is, but you making things simple so that I can understand them, that makes everything different versus someone who's wanting to sell me something. They're not doing anything wrong. I agree with you. But when it comes down to me asking questions and wanting answers, I want to go to someone who is actually understanding and in the trenches of numbers.
And Kim, that's a really good point, because one of the things that I also promote is chat to someone you know. Ask someone else in business how they operate their business finances. If we don't have a relationship and you don't feel like ready to hang out with Kerry in the virtual cafe, that's fine. Ask someone you know what they're doing. Sometimes by doing that little ground research of, finding 6 other people that are in business and, this person uses the spreadsheet, this one uses this platform, but consider what size and what stage of their business that they're at. But yeah, do some homework, find out. And even, and we've chatted about this before, Kim, sometimes our accountants can actually guide and assist us on that as well, as to this one's a little bit spicy and controversial, because sometimes it's what makes their life easier, so just watch out for that. But other times they have good suggestions and things that will help you as well. So, and it all comes down to what fits us. I don't like pen and paper, Kim. I'll confess, I don't like words, and if I hold the pen the wrong way, it just hurts my hand. I'm not a writer, like handwriting. However, I do know that once I write things down, I do remember it. I know that is definitely a thing. But if, give me something to type on the computer or on the laptop or even on the phone versus handwriting stuff out. And Kim, I'm just going to be honest, my handwriting looks like shit. Like sometimes I can't understand it. So there's that too.
I think going old school, whether it's digital or physical, whatever it is, I just think that has helped me over my lifetime uncomplicate some things. So I'm definitely not saying that anybody should go back to doing pen and paper only. Definitely not saying that. I just think that when you talk about that, Carrie, it's important for someone to take the pressure off of having to learn a new software or a new tool or a new whatever it is. Keep it simple.
Yeah, and again, we come back to what fits you. I don't feel there should be any judgment in any of the business spaces. If you decide that you're happy with a little spreadsheet and you get a template from somewhere, or you make your own, or you decide the pen and paper in the ledger book is your thing, or you do want to go down the accounting platform road, you're not wrong. There's no right or wrong in this space. It'll be what works for you. Whatever's going to motivate you to actually work on your business finances, there's the gold, Kim.
Here's what motivates both of us, Carrie. It's the coffee. Can I pass it through?
Hey, send it up.
Carrie, it just stops. It keeps hitting the ceiling. I tried to pass Carrie the coffee cup, but it just wouldn't work.
That's right. If you're tuning in on audio version, Kim and I are in a production studio doing this recording, and we're actually, what do you call this, Kim? Are we portrait mode? So you're down there, I'm up there, and it's like, I want the coffee. Give me, and I'm going like this, but I should be going like this.
We're the Brady Bunch right now, where we're like squares on top of each other.
Well, Kim, I don't want to overcomplicate today's episode any further. Definitely not. And just want to encourage everyone to continue to find what works for them and their business finances, whatever that tool is, whatever it looks like. And you know what? Try a couple of things. Sometimes we need to, have a bit of a go at something to see if it does fit us first. So don't be afraid to try different tools that may or may not suit you. Hopefully you find the one that does and motivates you to work on your business finances. And that's our key message today, Kim.
I love it, Carrie. And thank you for not giving up on me making things simple, Carrie, because I am very grateful that I can ask you questions. And I want to say really quickly, if you are listening, sweet business owner, let me just say, if you have questions, send them in, because Carrie tries really hard to answer all the questions that we get. So I want to put that out there, Carrie, real quick.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for hanging out in the virtual cafe once again, and we will chat to everybody next week.
Thank you, Carrie.
Bye. Thank you for joining us in the virtual cafe studio for this convo about business finances. This production is brought to you by the money barista, Kerry Zarb. You can follow the show to be notified of future episodes, and if you're enjoying this podcast, we encourage you to leave a rating or personal review. Until next time, happy biz beans to you. No beans were harmed during the production of this podcast. Information contained in this podcast should be taken as general advice only, and your personal circumstances have not been taken into account. It is recommended that you seek financial advice from a professional who is licensed to do so. If you choose to act upon the general advice shared, you do so at your own risk.